There's something a lot of dog owners don't want to admit. Their dog is running the house, and they're the one who taught them how to do it, not on purpose. It just kind of happened. And it's not about the spoiling. Also not about giving them more outfits than some humans or the toy basket and the custom bed. That stuff is fine. Cute even. The real question is much deeper than that. What happens when your dog asks for things or when they direct things you said? There's a big difference because spoiled behavior in dogs doesn't always look like bad behavior. Sometimes it looks like love. Sometimes it looks like loyalty. And once you know what to look for, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. Here are 10 signs your dog may be spoiled, what those signs actually mean, and why the kindest thing you can give your dog is not always another yes. Sign number 10, your dog refuses normal food until you upgrade it. You put down your dog's typical food, same bowl, same food, same kitchen floor, and your dog walks over and performs one ceremonial sniff, then looks back at you like you've personally insulted them. So you add a little chicken, maybe some broth, maybe some cheese, because you feel guilty, and suddenly the food is acceptable. Here's what just happened. Your dog didn't get hungrier. Your dog got smarter. They discovered that refusing the bowl makes better food appear. And this dog doesn't need a lecture. The lesson is obvious. Refusing works. Now, if your dog suddenly stops eating, seems tired, loses weight, or acts uncomfortable, that is not a spoiled dog moment. That is something worth checking with a vet specialist. But when a healthy dog who regularly holds out knows that something better is coming and they're not being dramatic, they're being logical, you trained them to wait, even if you didn't mean to. A dog who learns that every ordinary thing must become special can slowly lose the ability to accept normal routine. And dogs feel safest when life is predictable. So the problem isn't that your dog likes chicken. Every dog likes chicken. It's the expectation. Your dog now believes chicken is the starting point. Sign number 9. Your dog wakes you up and you obey. It's 3:17 in the morning. The room is dark. You're half asleep or somewhere in a dream. Then you hear a soft whine, then a loud one, then the sound of paws shifting beside the bed, maybe a nose under your hand, maybe a paw on your blanket. And just like that, you're awake and you maybe think they need to go outside or they're lonely. Or maybe you just want the sound to stop so you can sleep fact. Sometimes dogs really do need things at night. Puppies, older dogs, dogs with health changes, they deserve your attention, no question. But if your dog wakes you up night after night for attention, snacks, play, or because they simply prefer you awake, then your dog has learned a powerful rule. They notice which sound gets you moving fastest, or dropping a toy on your face may work best of all. And here's the part that catches most people off guard. Inconsistency makes it worse. One night you ignore it, next night you give in. The night after that, you bring a treat because you're too tired to argue. To you, that means sometimes yes. To your dog, that means try harder until the yes comes. Sign number 8. Your dog owns the best seat in the house. There's a whole couch. Your dog has found the exact center of it. Legs everywhere, head on a pillow that used to belong to a human. And you, the person paying rent, are perched on the armrest like a visitor. That part is funny. And honestly, sometimes it's completely fine. Dogs love warmth, softness, and things that smell like their people. Sharing your space is an act of love, but space also teaches rules. A dog who can take any seat, push into any gap, block any doorway, and never be asked to move may start to believe that human space is always optional, and their space is always protected. And that's where it turns. Not when they're on the couch, when they growl as you shift your legs, when they stiffen as a guest sits nearby, when they guard the spot like it's real estate they paid for. A relaxed dog who moves when asked is just comfortable. A dog who freezes, gives hard eye contact, or grumbles every time someone approaches, that's a dog learning that comfort gives them authority. Love doesn't mean your dog needs every seat. Sometimes love means teaching clearly. This one is yours, and this one is mine. Sign number 7, your dog barks, and the whole house responds. The dog barks at the door, someone opens it. The dog barks at the toy under the couch, someone gets it. The dog barks at the empty water bowl, someone fills it. The dog barks at you while you're on the phone, and somehow the call ends sooner than planned. At first, this seems like communication, and it is. Dogs use barking to alert, request, express excitement, and release frustration. Barking is part of being a dog. But here's the line. Communication becomes control when every bark produces immediate service. A spoiled dog may not bark because something is wrong. They bark because barking has become a button. Press the button, person moves. And dogs are smart enough to figure out which version of the bark gets the fastest result. A single bark may get ignored. A sharper bark gets attention. A frantic bark gets everyone moving. Now the dog has learned volume. This doesn't mean you should ignore every bark. If your dog is scared, in pain, reacting to something outside, or suddenly barking much more than usual, pay attention. Context matters. But a dog who barks directly at you because dinner is 11 minutes late, or because you had the nerve to stop petting them, or because you dared to sit down without throwing the ball, that is not an emergency. That is a demand. The goal is not to silence your dog. The goal is to teach them that calm behavior works better than loud behavior. Because a dog who believes they must bark to control the world is not peaceful. They're constantly working. Sign number 6. Your dog pulls you through every walk. You clip the leash, open the door, and your dog transforms into a one-dog sled team that has somewhere to be. They drag you to the tree, across the sidewalk, toward the other dog, into someone's yard. You're technically holding the leash. Emotionally, your dog is driving. Now, the outside world is extraordinary for a dog. It's a living newspaper written entirely in scent. Every patch of grass contains a story. Of course they're excited. But spoiled walking happens when the dog learns that pulling is the fastest way to reach everything they want. Pull toward the smell, a person follows. Pull toward the park, a person follows. The leash stops being a line of communication. It becomes a steering wheel. And here's the part that surprises people. It creates more frustration, not less. A dog who never learns to pause, check in, or move with you doesn't feel free. They feel constantly activated. A fulfilled dog on a walk sniffs, explores, checks back naturally. But the spoiled walker is locked forward, stiff, straining. Sign number 5. Your dog jumps on people, and everyone calls it love. A guest walks in. Your dog explodes with joy, paws on the chest, whole body wiggling, maybe a little whining, maybe a nose directly into someone's face. And the guest laughs because it feels affectionate. He just loves people. That may be true, but love without boundaries can still be overwhelming. Jumping usually starts when dogs are puppies. A puppy jumps up and everyone melts. They get eye contact, petting, laughing, baby talk, maybe even picked up. The puppy learns that jumping is a perfect greeting. Then the dog grows. Now they're 40 pounds, 60 pound, maybe 90 pound. Same behavior, different impact. To your dog, nothing changed, but to the person holding them, everything changed. The spoiled behavior here is not excitement. Excitement is normal. The spoiled part is when the dog has never learned that other people's bodies matter too. They were taught that their joy is enough reason to ignore space. And for some dogs, jumping is not just happiness. It can also be nervous energy, poor impulse control, or a way to manage overstimulation. A dog who jumps while licking, whining, panting, and unable to settle may be overwhelmed, not simply friendly. The kindest thing is not to punish the excitement, it's to give it shape. A dog can love guests and still keep 4 paws on the floor. In fact, that kind of greeting usually makes people love the dog more because everyone feels safe and comfortable. Sign number 4. Your dog only listens when there's a treat in your hand. You say, "Come." Your dog hears you. You can tell they heard you. They look right at you. Then they wait. Then your hand drifts toward the treat jar, and suddenly you have the most obedient dog in the history of animals. This is not a dog who learned to listen. This is a dog who learned to negotiate. Treats are a legitimate training tool. Used well, they build behavior. The problem is when the treat becomes a bribe for something your dog already understands. Here's how it happens. You repeat a command. Dog ignores it. You repeat it again. Dog ignores it. You bring out a treat. Dog obeys. You think, the training worked. What your dog actually learned is to wait until the reward is visible, then cooperate. That can feel funny in the living room. It is significantly less funny near traffic, around another dog, or when your dog picks up something they absolutely should not have. Good training isn't about being strict, it's about clarity. Rewards should build the behavior, not become the ransom you pay for behavior your dog already knows. And the deeper point is this: your dog should feel that listening to you is part of trusting you, not a business transaction. Sign number 3, your dog cannot handle being told no. You stop throwing the ball, your dog barks. You don't let them climb into your lap. They paw at you harder, you move them off the bed. They huff, whine, or immediately jump back up, as if the decision is still up for review. This is where many owners feel guilty. Dogs are expressive, their faces are powerful. A disappointed dog can look like you've personally crushed their dreams. But saying no isn't cruelty, it's information. A dog who never hears a calm and consistent no doesn't become happier. They become less prepared for normal life. Because life includes closed doors, waiting, delayed meals, boring moments, visitors, rules, and things they cannot have. When a dog has no practice with small frustrations, those frustrations start to feel huge. This is why some overly indulged dogs seem dramatic over tiny limits. The problem isn't that they're stubborn, it's that they were never taught how to handle frustration. Frustration tolerance is like a muscle. Dogs develop it through calm repetition, waiting before the food bowl, settling while humans eat, staying on their bed while guests come in, accepting that not every toy is available every second. The goal isn't to make your dog feel ignored. The goal is to help them discover, I can want something and still be okay if I don't get it. Sign number 2. Your dog controls your attention all day. You sit down with your laptop and your dog puts their head on your keyboard. You answer a text, your dog pushes your hand. You talk to someone else. Your dog brings a toy, drops it loudly, then stares. This can feel intense, and often it comes from real attachment. Dogs are social animals. Many genuinely want to be close to their people. Your attention matters to them. But a dog who can't tolerate your attention going anywhere else may not be deeply secure. They may be dependent. There's a difference between a dog who enjoys closeness and a dog who panics, barks, or becomes restless every time they're not the center of the room. That constant attention seeking can come from boredom, anxiety, habit, or simple reinforcement. One of the healthiest skills a dog can learn is how to relax while nothing special is happening. That may sound boring, but for a dog, calm boredom is a gift. Sign number 1. You feel guilty every time you set a boundary. This is the biggest sign, because it is not really about your dog. It is about you. Your dog looks at you with those eyes. You say no to the treat. You don't share your food. You don't open the door again. You don't throw the ball for the 81st time. You don't let them jump on the guest. You ask them to wait. And immediately, something in you tightens. Maybe they'll feel rejected. Maybe they'll be sad. Maybe they won't love you as much. Maybe you're being too harsh. But dogs do not need a life with no boundaries. They need a life they understand. A dog feels safe with us when we are predictable, not angry, not cold, not controlling, just normal like we used to. Because here's the truth, dogs are not harmed by calm structure. They are helped by it. A spoiled dog is often not a dog who is loved too much. Dogs deserve love. They need affection, play, comfort, safety, and joy. A spoiled dog is usually a dog who is given love without enough clarity. They learn that whining changes decisions, barking moves people, refusing food upgrades the menu, pulling controls the walk, jumping gets attention, pushing harder gets results, and saying no makes the person feel guilty enough to say yes. None of that happened because the owner didn't care. It happened because they cared so much that they forgot one important thing. A dog does not only need affection. A dog also needs guidance. So, if you recognized your dog in these signs, don't panic and don't blame yourself. Start small. Make routines clearer. Reward calm behavior. Stop reacting to every demand. Give your dog choices where choices make sense and boundaries where boundaries help them feel secure. Because a truly happy dog is not the dog who gets everything instantly. A truly happy dog is the dog who understands their world, trusts their human, knows how to wait, knows how to settle, and doesn't have to fight for control of every moment. Dogs may seem demanding sometimes, but most of their behavior has a reason. Some of it comes from instinct, some of it comes from emotion, and some of it comes from patterns we accidentally teach them every single day.